Alrighty, so I've just got off work and I still got about 25 minutes before the first game between NYCFC versus Atlanta United is happening. So this is a good time for me to kind of just squeeze in a review of the two games that happened yesterday. And we start off with the first one, which is TFC versus the Seattle Sounders, also known as one of the most annoying match for everyone to see because, it feels like both of these teams have played against each other a lot, especially doing those MLS Cup. And I also did say in the preview that I had confidence the Sounders were going to bounce back after that tough loss against Montreal just a couple of days ago. And indeed, that exactly is the case. Though this was more kind of like a B Sounders team, also kind of a Tacoma Defiance Sounders team, with the way that there was a couple of notable Tacoma Defiance players come off the bench in this one. But we've seen this before, where despite the fact that the Sounders might not start their strongest team and they might put some Tacoma Defiance player, they still are able to walk away with all 3 points on the road, and that's exactly what they did in this one against Toronto FC. Though early on, I thought, there was a couple of pot shots from both teams, but it was a cagey start for the first 10 minutes of the game, kind of reminiscent of those MLS Cup battle and the MLS Cup trilogy that both of these teams play against each other from 2016, 2017, and again in 2019. Ladero then puts it wide from close range in the 8th minute, as I thought the Sounders were starting to amp up the pressure, and TFC was just stuck in their own half. I mean, they were defending a lot. There was a couple of last-ditch defending, but still, for the most part, they done well in terms of it and limiting any dangerous chances for the Sounders. And then they started to get some chances starting in the 35th minute when Pasuelo blasted high on a 22-yard free kick. And then Osorio just blasted high from 15 yards out. Probably the best chance of the game because Jonathan Osorio, we know that he can score some goals and score some crucial goal for TFC, and that's one that he definitely wants a halfback, with him being open from 15 yards out and missed that one high. But really, as I said, for the first time, the TFC was in this game and was creating some half chances, but just as I wrote that, the Sounders gets the opening goal. And it's a debut that gets the opening goal. Dylan Tevez scoring in his first MLS goal in his first ever MLS start for the Seattle Sounders, as he scored here from Chu and Madronda to give the Sounders a 1-0 lead. And this is also, so I think, the second consecutive game that I've seen so far that I've seen a player scoring their first goal in their first ever game. I mean, if you want to go back chronologically in terms of time, the last game where I watched the Red Bulls take on Atlanta United, we also saw Serge Ngoma score his first goal to get the last minute winner for the Red Bulls. And yeah, great to see it happen again, especially for a kid that has really worked hard to get to make his debut with the Sounders and getting his first goal in his career, only in his first start. But yeah, that gives the Sounders a 1-0 lead, and that would be the scoreline heading into the second half. Now, in the second half, DeAndre Kerr did put it wide in the back post. I thought it was a promising start for TFC in the second half, though as soon as I said that, Montero almost made it 2-0 as he struck the post from 10 yards out. Cleveland then denied Pasuelo after he went through on goal, and that was a crucial save because just 6 minutes later, Montero would get on the score sheet from Ladero to give the Sounders a 2-0 lead. I mean, that was just classic Nico Ladero there. Beautiful pass right to Montero, who this time he makes no mistake, able to put that one away. And yeah, the game was now in favor of the Sounders with them having a 2-0 lead. And you just kind of had a feeling that, yeah, the Sounders are gonna get the win in this one, because after Bradley blasts one right to Cleveland and then Osorio puts it just wide, you just kind of feel like it's not going to be TFC night. I mean, they were trying to press to get one back and trying to make this interesting, and the Sounders was just trying to sit back and protect a 2-0 lead, and also started to bring some of those Tacoma Defiance players onto this game too to protect this 2-0 lead. Priso had a couple of chances, first with a curler that goes straight to Cleveland in the 82nd minute, and then he puts it wide from 12 yards out just 4 minutes later, and it just feels like at that point, I couldn't resist by saying that it's just not TFC night, and it hasn't been their night this season, with just multiple time, especially at home, where they have not played very well at all. Although it was almost 3-0 if it wasn't for Westberg, who he didn't really do much in this game besides picking the ball out of the net. He had to deny Baker Whiting, and then on the follow-up, Atencio actually had a chance to score on the rebound, but he fires that one wide. And yeah, in the end, the Sounders were able to walk away with a 2-0 victory, getting themselves back on on the winning column. And the shots in this one, 13 shots compared to 11 that the Sounders had, 4 shots on goal compared to 6 that TFC had. TFC had 6 shots off target with the 5 the Sounders had. 2 shots on blocked with the 1 that Toronto has. And possession-wise, Toronto did have the better possession. 62% possession compared to 38% possession that the Sounders had. But, this was just simply a game where, the Sounders are just kind of more superior even when they do put out their B team. And it's also just a sign that, this TFC team is nowhere near being a competitive team. And I even said that even though they are bringing guys like Domenico Cristo and also Lorenzo Insigne, who I believe both of them will be making their debut very soon, I don't think it's going to change anything. Like, there is still a lot of problem with this team, starting from the defense and also going for on the attack, where it's been also kind of inconsistent in these last couple of games. But now moving on, in the next match, we got the Vancouver Whitecaps versus LAFC, and the Whitecaps did it again. I mean, there's just something about the Whitecaps when they play against LAFC, especially at BC Place, where they just love playing against LAFC. And I can even say that, for LAFC, it is pretty much official that BC Place is a house of horror for them, because they just cannot able to get victory at BC Place. Now, granted, yes, LAFC did put a relatively weak team in, just like the Sounders. They kind of put their B team in this one, but they just had no luck in tonight. In fact, you could maybe even say that they kind of suffer a bit of a letdown after that incredible performance they had against FC Dallas. Now, early on, the Whitecaps were actually on the front foot and created some half chances, but LAFC were the one that almost got the opening goal as Latif Blessing just struck the post from 17 yards out. I felt despite the Whitecaps were dominating possession and dictating the game, the final third and final ball was lacking for this team. And, I guess maybe LAFC and Steve Chirino kind of realized that, the Whitecaps are going to try to go transition. So the best way to play a team that like to play transition, just give them the ball. See if they can break you down. And there's been times when the Whitecaps are allowed to dominate possession and dictate the game, but they have problem in terms of creating those chances, and those final balls are just not there. Though 26 minutes in, the shots were only 2 apiece for both of these teams. In fact, this game was kind of similar to the one between the Red Bulls versus Atlanta United, where for a long period of time there was nothing happening in this game. It was an absolute bore fest, but it eventually kind of kicked off late in the second half. Rango then heads it wide in the back post in the 31st minute. And at the end of the first half, there was only 6 shots combined for both of these teams, and no shots on goal, as both of these goalkeepers might as well just decide to not show up for the first half, because they basically didn't even need to do anything with none of them being on target. But yeah, we head to halftime, unsurprisingly scoreless between both of these teams. And in the second half, Acosta fired one wide from long range before there was a shout for a penalty for Vancouver, but instead Gall actually gets a yellow card for simulation. And we've seen this more often this season, where Pro is definitely cracking down in terms of player going down on the ground way too easily. And yeah, when you look on the replay, it was pretty clear that Ryan Gall trying to draw a penalty, trying to maybe embellish a little bit, and yeah, the referee was having none of it. He immediately booked him for simulation. But 60 minutes in, still no shots on goal for both of these teams. In fact, the first shot on goal didn't came until the 64th minute, when it was a Blackman header that goes straight to Crépeau. By the way, I forgot to even mention the fact that this is also Crépeau reunion game, as he played against the Vancouver Whitecaps and playing against his former team for the first time since he made that surprising move to LAFC this offseason. Dahomey then fired it wide from long range, and then also did the same thing, but you just kind of had a sense that ever since the Whitecaps finally were able to get a shot on goal, the momentum was with them, because they started to push for that winner, and that those half chances that they got that I mentioned, it started to become real chances. In fact, they came close in the 75th minute when White actually struck the post when he hits one in the near post. There was then some pinball action in the LAFC box, but the Whitecaps weren't able to get to it, as LAFC was just able to clear out of the dangerous area. But I thought there's been time, especially in the second half, where LAFC was just having lots of trouble in terms of clearing the ball away and trying to get it out of the dangerous area, and that you just had a feeling that it could come back to haunt them. And it did, because in the 89th minute, Andres Cubas would score his first ever goal in MLS. So, Saturday was a great day for players to score their first career MLS goal. And it's the same case here with Andres Kubas, their new DP signing, scoring here to give the Whitecaps a 1-0 lead, and that would be the final score of this game. And by the way, this goal all came because of the fact that LAFC once again just could not clear their lines completely. They only halfway cleared it. And while it was a great goal from Kubas, yeah, you just had a feeling that with LAFC playing with fire, not clearing those ball away entirely, it's going to come back to haunt them, and it did in this one, and it gives the Whitecaps a 1-0 win in this one. And the shots in this one, 11 shots compared to 7 that LAFC had. Only 2 shots on goal compared to none that LAFC had in this. I don't remember the last time LAFC had finished a game with 0 shots on goal, and that you got to give a lot of credit to this Whitecaps defense of the fact that, yes, I know this wasn't the strongest LAFC attack, but they did a good job in terms of shutting them down. But you also have to question that LAFC attack where, yeah, they were just lackluster and looked completely like nothing like they were on Wednesday night against FC Dallas. The shots off target, 5 shots off target for the 4 that LAFC had. 3 shots that was blocked for the 4 that the Whitecaps had. And possession-wise, 42% possession compared to the 58% possession that LAFC has in this game. And like I said, there's just something about the Whitecaps. They have LAFC number when they're playing at BC Plays, and that trend kind of continue after getting a huge 3 points against the Supporter Shield leading team. And for LAFC, it's safe to say that, yeah, they kind of had a hangover in that game against FC Dallas, and that happens. I mean, even the best of the team sometimes will have a bad performance, and especially when you come off with such an impressive performance where everything was clicking, it won't be that big of a surprise that the very next game they can have that kind of a letdown, especially when you're playing on the road and also playing against a team that you do not have a good history against on the road. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that haunted history that LAFC had and that bogey kind of history that LAFC had against the Whitecaps kind of came back to the minds of those players. And I think that's one of the things that kind of plays out of how the Whitecaps were able to get all 3 points in this game. I mean, some people don't think psychology has anything to do with the game. I don't. I actually don't think that's true. I think psychology has a big part of the game, and that when you have a team number, you have that team number, and you have that ownage. And as the old saying goes, ownage is ownage. And right now, the Whitecaps clearly have an ownage on LAFC whenever they play them at BC Place. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do a like, smash the subscribe button, let me know in the comments below what do you think of both of these games. Like I said, we got 8 games that's going to be happening tonight, which I'm not quite sure whether or not if I'm going to think about doing a review because, I do have to work again early tomorrow. Yes, it sucks the fact that I have to work on 4th of July, and then, of course, I also have some of the 4th of July game that's going to be happening. And so I might think about just doing the review of tonight's game on the 4th of July before, the fireworks show happening. And then I'll basically do the review of the 4th of July games the very next morning, because there's no way I'm going to do a review after the 4th of July game when fireworks are just basically going off outside my house every minute or so. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.